A very good morning, everyone. Today is 1st of June 2022, and we are back again with some of the major articles from The Hindu. Let's begin our today's discussion. From the very first page from GS3 economy section, there are two articles that is about the GDP growth. Now, the first article says that Q4 GDP growth decelerates to 4.1%. Economy expanded 8.7% in 2021-22. From this article, you have to understand what are the key takeaways from recently released provisional national income estimates and their implications for the economy. Further on, there is another article. Centre clears rupees 86,912 crore of GST dues. From this article, you have to understand what is the status of outstanding GST compensation due to states. Will the record GST collections in the recent months help? Moving further on page number 8 from GS2 judiciary section. Now this is about the judicial course on AG Perarivalan case. Now as we know, the AG Perarivalan was the convict in Rajiv Gandhi assassination. So the article is headlined as a judicial course that calls for introspection. From this article, you have to know about the recent decision of the Supreme Court of India in case of AG Perarivalan and Rajiv Gandhi assassination. The Article 142 of the Constitution, the scope of this article, need for and significance of these powers for the Supreme Court. What are the issues flagged on the exercise of power of remission under Article 142 by the Supreme Court in present factual context? Further on, what is the conclusion and the way forward in this particular context? Moving further on page number 8 and 10 from GS2 Polity and Governance, there are two articles relating to the Aadhaar issue. The first article is headlined as Caution First. The UIDAI should not downplay the possibility of leaked Aadhaar numbers being misused. So from this article, you have to know what did the UIDAI advisory say? What does the law say? The second article is headlined as Questioning the Safety of Aadhaar. From this article, you have to know, can Aadhaar be one-stop solution for all the identification requirements? Does it safeguard the privacy of its various beneficiaries? What are some of the structural problems that the UIDAI faces? And what is the possible scenario ahead? All right, moving further on page number 9 from GS3 environment section, there's an article about EV. Electric vehicles. So India's EV ambition rides on three wheels. The EV policies put in place by some states as part of FAME 2 have been instrumental in driving this particular growth. So from this article, you have to know about India's push for electric vehicles. What are the relative initiatives like phase 2 of the faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric FAME vehicles scheme? India's EV policy, the benefit of EV policy, and what are the issues to be addressed? Moving further on page number 10 from GS2 International Relations, looking at the UN report on the Taliban regime. From this article, you have to know what are the findings of new report from the Analytical Support and Sanctions Monitoring Team of United Nations Security Council. What is the mandate of monitoring team and how did it collect data? What does the report say about terrorist organizations that pose a threat to India? What about internal tensions? How are ethnic dynamics in the administration and what is the possible scenario ahead? Moving further on page number 12 from GS2 Polity and Governance, there's an article, Indus water talks held on cordial terms. Both sides to resolve issues, says the Ministry of External Affairs. From this article, you have to know what are the outcomes of another round of talks as a part of Indus Water Treaty between India and Pakistan. What is the Indus Water Treaty? Which rivers belong to India and which ones belong to Pakistan in this particular treaty? Moving further, on page number 14 from GS2 Polity and Governance, there's an article working to build new India, not vote bank. So PM Modi releases the 11th installment of PMKisan scheme. From this article, you have to know about the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme, its objectives and features. Moving further on page number 16 from GS3 economy section, fiscal deficit improved by 6.7% in the financial year 2022. So higher tax mops up helps. Official estimates released in February had pegged deficit at 6.9% of the GDP. So from this article, you have to know what is fiscal deficit and what is the ideal target for India. So with this, I call it a wrap of today's edition of Headlines of the Day, The Hindu. This is Kritika signing off. We'll see you in more such videos. Till then, take care and do stay tuned.